Hi everyone, I'm Orchid, Orchid Dolls, or Cathy, my real name. And I'm here to do a little bit of overview of the doll photography hobby. And I hope you all like this. So let's start. This is my first talk in English, so please be kind. I'm from Spain, from Mallorca, and I'll do my best. I'll try my best. So yeah, I will introduce myself a little bit. I started collecting PVC figures like this one, also on Android. Do you know them? Like this. These are some of my pictures. And well, how many of you are collectors here? A lot, yeah. And you can which one? Who collects an Android like this? And figures, PVC figures? Yeah. Okay. And those? Or okay. So if you want to ask something, please just ask. Raise your hand, and if you ask something, you will get points for your color. So anytime you want. So yeah, I started collecting dolls, an Android like this, and then I discovered this kind of dolls, which are Dolphy Dreams, made by Vox, a Japanese company. And I fell in love with them because it's obvious, they're super cute, very poseable, they can pose whatever you want, they are articulated. So figures are a little bit of limited when posing because they are always doing the same pose. But with those, you can change the hair, the eyes, you can paint them, you can make the character you want, and that's what I love. So yeah, these are one of my pictures. This is one of my latest dolls. They are like this. They are quite big. And yeah, let's start with some theory. But this is what's photography. Photo means light, and graphy means drawing. So what we're doing when we take a picture is to draw with light. We're trying to control the light, so we can make the perfect picture. And then, so what's doll photography? What I do here. Some people like to say doll photography is product photography, but I don't like that because product photography is made to sell. They take a picture to sell a product. It has to look flawless. It has to look perfect so the people can want to buy it. But I don't do it for that. I want my dolls look alive, like they have life in my pictures. So I like to say doll photography is a mix between fashion photography, product photography, obviously, because they are products, they are not alive, but I want them to look alive in my pictures, and also portrait photography. So these are some of my dolls, too. I always try to tell some story. That's why I love dolls. So yeah, there's something involved, some kind of storytelling involved in the picture, which leads me, this is glitch, this is the one here, but you know, their wig, eyes, and clothes, you can change all of this, so they look very different. So yeah, what I was talking about, this is what, for me, this is personally my opinion. This is, for me, how to get the best picture, the best photo. The story is the most important part of the picture. What's going on? What's happening? This point can get very tricky, but you can improve this a lot with a dynamic pose. for example. There's a lot of ways to get it. Also, the photo quality, which is technical details, well, all the technical details, the photo itself, and then the doll. And this is not the doll itself, but the pose, the hair, the character, and all of this. So, most of you, I guess, you are starting this hobby, or you will like to start. So, you're guessing, what do you need if you want to start this hobby? I will help you. First of all, you need a doll. It can be any kind of doll. This is a little doll. This is one of my little dolls. It's an ASO. I'm telling you this because I think it's a good way to start if you want to start in a doll hobby, because they are cheaper, they are tinier, and very easy to carry anywhere. Then you'll need a camera, obviously. Any kind of camera will be great if you can take photos. Because remember, the light is the most important part in the picture. So if you get the perfect light and the perfect composition, any picture, even phone pictures, can look interesting. Okay? Mine is a DSLR camera. I like them because they are sturdy. And I don't know, I'm used to it. But for example, if you like outdoor photos, I would recommend you to buy a mirrorless camera, because they are so easy to carry, they're so small, and their weight, I don't know how to say it. Well, they're easy to carry. These are so heavy. And I don't like them to go outdoors, but for indoor pictures. I will recommend to buy a reflector. This is very basic, I know. But with this, you will improve your pictures a lot. If you're using, for example, natural light, you can control it very easy. It's a very way to start. I use them a lot. And they're very cheap, like $10 or so. And if you would like to improve your posing skills, you will need a doll stand like this one. So it's not necessary at the beginning, but later on, if you want to try new things, it's great. OK, theory is fine, but let's take an actual picture. So I'm going to leave this here. Today I'm going to take a picture with my doll, and then I will edit it in the computer, so you will see the result. OK, I'm going to start setting all the things. First of all, the first need you need to build is the background. OK? But no, not the background. The idea. OK. First of all, we're going to think of an idea for our picture. This time, I thought of a Futaba scene. Do you know Futaba from Persona 5? So I tried to recreate her costume a little bit. So I was thinking to recreate some hacking scene with the green light and all the stuff. So yeah, first of all, we're going to think about an idea, an interesting idea. So what's happening in the picture? What are we going to tell to the people? Then we are going to set up the scene. I bought this, but you know, real materials are always better. But this can work, because we are going to focus on the doll and not the floor. So I'm going to try to put this. Let's see. and something like a carpet. I like this kind of fabric because it looks fluffy for my dolls. Okay, I'm going to leave this here, or no? Nope. Okay, no. Okay, no problem. Then I will use this as a background because her room has some like of curtain, starry curtain. Sorry. Basically, you can do your setup with anything if you focus on the doll. More or less. Okay. I will use this later. You will see how. And okay, more or less, we have the floor and the background. Okay. Don't worry if there's some, well, perfection is hard. So I will try to not focus the background so we can see the imperfections of the fabric. Okay. Yeah, step 3, posing the doll. This is one of the most important parts of the doll photography for me because it's not the same to pose like this or to pose like this or like, I don't know. Posing is very important, so let's try to get it right. So posing is important in fashion photography. The same goes with dolls. So sorry if I'm not talking because I'm focused on this. So I want to get, I always try to not to touch the face. Maybe you know the face is the most important part of the doll, or at least it usually is a limited part of the doll. So if you damage the body, you can always buy a new body or a new leg or a new hand, but the head usually is or limited, or in this case is a custom one, a custom makeup. So always be careful with the doll's face. Okay. So I'm going to add some props to the scene because now it's very basic. First of all, as she's cosplaying Futaba, her headphones, I'm going to put them like this. And the glasses. Also, I will use this as some kind of shelf. Oh, my iPhone. And something like this in the background. Her notebook here. And this is a trick. You can use blue tack if you want to get things stay where you want. So this will be her little computer. I know she's not using a Mac, but we will remove this later on the editing part. So I don't like this hair here. Everything is about the details, so you will spend a lot of time posing and getting the hair right. So I want the hair to be like this, for example. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm going to, yeah, from here. So I think once we like the scene, once we like what we see, now we can take the camera. Sorry for the mess here. This hobby is a little bit messy. So let's start. Oh, the light. I forgot. So what I'm going to do is to use the flash as some kind of backlight. So she will be separated from the background, okay? More or less like this. And I will try to use green light, okay? Like something like this. But today there's a lot of light, so I'm going to use high power for the flash. So, and another detail. So maybe you notice that she's working on the laptop, but no light is coming from the screen. I'm going to fix this. I bought this little LED light, you know. So I'm going to try to put some light from the screen. Let's see if it works, because there is so much light today here. You see? This is some special effects, low-cost special effects. So, okay, there is so much light today here, so I'll try to put it here, maybe. Oh, yeah, here. Yeah. If you see it, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of light, green light in her face, so it looks like the light is coming from the laptop, you know? We'll try to get this with the camera too. Okay. Let's take the picture. I hope this will work. So you know, photography is all about practicing. You have to do and try a lot of things. So why I used a flash? If you want to do some doll photography with lights, Is it necessary to have a flash? The answer is no. I'm using it because it's very easy to carry, but you can do the same with a continuous light, any kind of lamp. It's the same result, but I come from Mallorca, so the flash is very small and very easy to carry. But it's a little bit harder to use. So I'm going to do the first test. So the angle of the photo is pretty important too. Why I'm telling you this? Because if you take the picture like this, straight lines and perpendicular lines, it gives a feeling of stable. Yeah, it's okay. It's like this. If you get the lines straight. But if you crook them, if you get some diagonals, it will look like everything is falling. So you can take a little bit of movement feeling if you tilt the angle of the camera. We'll see it now. I'm going to take some pictures, test pictures. And then in the computer, you will see the difference between a straight and, like this picture or like this. Okay, more or less. I'm going to adjust a little bit the presets. So I'm going to use, you are going to do a lot of tests until you get the perfect picture. Okay. I'm going to lower a little bit the light of the flash. It's a little bit too hard. Okay. Now it's this is real life doll photographer. So, and I will put this here because she doesn't seem to look the computer from that angle. Let's try this. I can see it from this side. Maybe, oh, this is hard. Now, got it. Sorry for this moment. I want to get it perfect, but she doesn't want to. my God. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, I think I got it. No. Okay. Sorry. I want to get it perfect. So let's try. Are you there? No? Hi. Okay. Let's try now. My God. No. Okay, let's try this. Now the glasses. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's try now. Yeah, I like this. More or less. We're going to move this one here. Soon you will see the results of all of this. And I will move this a little bit here. And power up. Let's try. Okay. Let's see if I... I'm not getting the whole thing green. Maybe this. We'll try like this. Let's put this out. So let's try this a little bit. I like this one. I think I'm getting with this angle. Okay. Sorry. So I think I will stay with these photos. Something like this. Okay. Maybe like this. Here. Yep. We'll try this angle. Sorry, the hair. Sorry, yeah. So I think I'm getting, sorry, the light. So I think I'm going to stay with the latest pictures I took. try to edit them. OK, let's try this one. So, OK, next step, editing the pictures. This is somehow a very fast picture, even though I took my time to get it. But it takes a lot of time to put everything together because, you know, they are not alive, so they can't move. So I can say, glitch, please, put your hand like that. So I have to go there, put the hand like that, go back, make the picture, make the light, everything. So it's kind of hard, but I like it. So let's do the editing part. Let's see all the stuff around. OK. Oops. So yeah. I'm going to use the Photoshop. You know the Photoshop? Some people use here, this program. So this will be quick, very fast. If you have some question, please tell me, raise your hand. Do you have any question now from what I've told here? Any question? OK, we can continue. So yeah, all the pictures I've took are somehow crooked, tilt pictures, because I like to give a little more of movement to them. Nope. Let's see. No. I think these are the pictures. So I have, these ones are the first ones. I don't know if you see them. They are quite dark, because I want to give this green hacker feeling with the green lights. So I took my pictures in JPEG and also RAW files, because they are the highest quality you can get. All the information is there. It's not compressed. And I like this one, also this one. So you see the diagonals. So it creates some kind of movement to it. I like this one. Also, the latest ones are not so good. This could also work, but I think I'm staying with. So you see, I don't like when the second eye is like cropped. I don't like that. You see this? So I'm looking for a picture where her eye is not cropped. Very dark. I think I'm staying with this or this. This one. Do you like it? So, OK. I'm working with this one. So let's go. Any questions for now? Any curiosity? Oh, what's that? So this is camera raw. Here I do the basic adjustments, like exposure, temperature. So I'm getting, you see a little bit of, I think that screen is darker than mine, but it's OK. So I'll put a little contrast, like this, some texture, some intensity to the colors, you know, and I'm going to put the illumination a little bit down. OK. So my Photoshop is in Spanish, but I'll try to translate it for you. First of all, save the file. Always save. And then my workflow, well, it's one of the best workflows, which is work for layers. So you don't destroy the original file. So I'm going to keep this like this and duplicate it, okay, like this. So this layer, I'm not going to touch it because it's the original one. I'm going to change this one. Okay, first of all, I'm going to crop the picture because I don't like this part of here. It has a lot of air, you know. And I'm going to, what are you doing here? So if you have any doubt, just ask. If I'm going too fast, please ask. So yeah, you see I like these points here is where the attention of the eye usually goes. So it's nicer. This crop is nicer than the other one. Also, there's a big air here, but it's OK because I like to put the watermark in those areas. So it's OK. So let's remove the apple from the Mac because she's not using the Mac. For this, I'm going to use the tool patch, patch tool. So I draw the area I want to remove and drag to another area, which is more or less the same texture. So voila, no Mac. What else? I can also add some details to the eyes. The eyes are one of the most important parts of the doll photography, also human photography. It's the main focus. So we're going to use this tool, which is sharpen tool. But we're going to use it just a little bit, not a lot, because if you use it a lot, you will get this shit. So this is not correct, OK? Just a little bit, a little bit. The edits must be subtle, because otherwise it looked fake. So you have to, any kind of addition must be subtle, little by little. So here, a little bit. OK. Yeah. I don't like this part of the nose. It looks like her nose is chopped. So I'm going to try to get this right. Maybe in another layer. OK, I'm going to do another layer for this one. I'm going to try to paint like this color in another layer. This is not something professional, but if I had some more time, I would correct this in real life here, changing the glasses, but I think it was enough. So I'm going to fake it, this a little bit more. OK, nobody noticed? Huh? OK, what else can we do? Yeah, OK. The cable, you see the cable? It doesn't have to be there. So let's try to get the, this is the corrector. I don't remember the name in Spanish, but the little thing here, it's a very basic tool. If you go to my website, this is in a tutorial. You have all the tools I use in English to remove stands, cables, and all this stuff. OK? So let's get this out of the picture, something like this, more or less. Oh, don't like this part. OK. If you don't like any part, now you can use the stamp, cloning stamp tool, very famous. And you can select an area and and copy in another part. Something like this. Yeah? OK. So let's save the file. OK. Maybe this part is a little bit. OK. Do you see it curly? No cable. OK. So now let's add some special effects. Something like, do you see the lamp? Let's put a little bit of light. So there's a light, but not a big light. So let's add some. Yeah, we're going to use some kind of green light too, with the gradient. Sorry, the gradient tool. Okay, let's put something like this. Yeah, no. For example, like this, and these things here are the blending modes. Maybe you know them. It's the way one layer works on the following layer, OK? So everything here does a different thing. I know you don't see the names, but I will say which blending mode I'm using for this. I'm going to use maybe screen, OK? Or this one, screen. OK, I'm going to use screen blending mode, sorry, for this one. And here I will get the opacity the way I want. So this is why working with layers is so important, because you can adjust the opacity of every layer to get the picture what you really want. So I'm going to use this, and maybe I'm going to erase the part of behind the lamp, which is not emitting any light. Something like this. OK, yeah, better? So yeah, more or less we have the original picture, I mean the picture itself. Now we can work on the light parts, OK. And for example, we can also paint some kind of green here. I don't like this part because it's very white. So it could be a little bit greenish, like everything in the picture. Yeah, you know, this is the parts where the flash don't reach, because this is the shadow of the doll, so there are no green here. There is no green here, sorry. Yeah, more or less. So let's adjust the shadows first, for examples. So I'm going to create a new layer and use a blending mode, soft shadow, and use 50% gray, which is not changing the layer below. But if I use a black brush, I can edit the shadows. For example, if I use a black brush, I can edit the lights. Yeah. OK, perfect. I'm going to finish this in 5 minutes. Yes, no problem. So yeah, the shadows. What I would do to the picture, maybe creating some vignette effect, you know, because I want her to be the center of the picture. So I'm going to create some dark points, like this one. This one is very boring, this part of here. So I don't know if you see it, but I'm creating some shadow here, also here and here. And then another light shadows, OK. Same as before. Soft light, 50% gray. And now using a white brush, so I'm going to put a little bit of light here in her eyes. You see? Better? OK. Not too much, because it's fake. OK, just a little bit. And also some hair here. something like that. You see you can play with the light this way. And you're not touching the real picture, which is this one was the real picture. This one is what we have edited here in 5-10 minutes. So it's all about details. You go correcting everything. Now the shadow, now the colors. We can add some intensity to the colors, for example. But I think it's quite intense. Something like this. And more or less, our picture will be done with these changes. Maybe adding some green on the bottom part, but you know how to do that, actually. So I think this is the final picture for now. And that's all. Do you have some questions? Yeah.
Do you have any experience with using like little blur photos for more movement feeling?
Yeah, if I have some tricks for movement apart from the angle, yeah. For example, you can use the doll stand I told you before to make them to be like this.
Yes.
Or jumping. This creates a lot of movement, and also putting the hair like this to use wires. Some people use a lot of wires.
So you never use blur some part of the doll or a whole photo, but a little blurring, like it's snapped in movement. You know the blur with moving objects.
Oh, with moving like toy photography.
Yes.
No, because I'm afraid to damage the doll, so
okay.
I'm not using objects in movement. Maybe you can use light, some kind. If you want to get a low exposure picture, you could use like light painting. You know, light painting. You could use that, but always in a controlled way, because these dolls are a bit expensive, and I'm very I'm afraid.
I understand that.
To
I'm a collector as well. I understand that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other question? No? Well, yeah.
Do you make the accessories yourself, or can you buy them somewhere?
I mainly buy them. I can do little things, but it's not what I really do. The majority of time, I buy the clothes, the stuff, all the accessories, because I focus on the doll photography, so I really suck doing stuff. But yeah, I mainly buy it. Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. Last one. Or there, up there.
The setup that you currently have, including all the dolls and accessories, how much does it cost?
Well, it depends on the doll. The props, as you can see here, the props can be very cheap. You can use a reflector with foil paper or things like that. The doll, there are dolls around. The cheapest dolls, like the Asian ones I showed you before, are like $100 or €100. These ones are up to 400, 500, and the materials are what you see. You can use cheap materials, fabric. So a set like this costs, without the camera and the computer and the flash, that is real, like an effect. This one can cost 600 euros or dollars, more or less. Yeah. That's all? Yeah, one. There.
Which part do you enjoy the most, like the editing or the setting?
I think the editing, because my actual job is graphic design. I work as a graphic designer, so that's why I started doing Photoshop, insane pictures. Now I get like, now I'm in the phase which I'm looking for more realistic scenes, but I started doing crazy Photoshop stuff. And yeah, I really enjoy the editing part. Anything else? Okay, so thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this crazy thing called doll photography. And thank you so much to the Animefest staff, to the Figubo staff. There are some pictures there on the Figubo gallery, which are amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for coming, and see you around. Bye. Thank you.